That was amazing. You know the data right off the top
Andy
of your head.
does.
Okay, so Brittany.
Yeah, so KIPP Indy Public Schools, a network of nonprofit public schools that's rooted in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood on the near northeast side of Indianapolis. We proudly educate 1,500 students in grades K through 12, and at the heart of our passion and purpose is being a high-quality option in Martindale-Brightwood and partnering with community institutions and residents and stakeholders here in the neighborhood to provide an excellent education for our students and ultimately prepare them with the skills and opportunities that they need to live a life of choice and pursue a path that's aligned with their passion. It was a very successful year overall. Two of our big goals for the year were around student academic growth and restoring student attendance. And on both fronts, we saw major successes. We had our strongest year of academic growth in our 20-year history, and that was grades K through 12. Saw meaningful proficiency increases across the board at our elementary and middle school. Graduated 100% of our students that were enrolled with us in our high school. And from an attendance standpoint, saw a 3.1% increase in average daily attendance and reduced chronic absenteeism considerably. And so the work continues. We've got a journey still to travel, but really proud of the team this year and what it meant for our 1,500 students.
Absolutely. So a huge initiative, as Andy mentioned, was restoring our attendance numbers. And so this year, every single staff member, it didn't matter if you were on the regional team, a kindergarten teacher, a front office staff member, was on an attendance team. And so every single staff member had about 5 to 6 students and families every single week that we had the pleasure of contacting, updating families about attendance numbers, upcoming events, academic data, assessments that were coming up. And it was just really great. So parents weren't just getting an automated message from the school that, hey, your kid's not here, but actually had a personal connection who got to know the students, got to know families, got to know context. And so that just really helped with our attendance initiative. And as Andy shared with the data, we clearly had gains there, and we're excited to continue that next year.
Yeah, I mean, our big focus next year is really compounding the strong academic growth that we've seen year over year coming out of the pandemic into really meaningful proficiency gains for our students. And really the opportunity there and our big goal is that 70% of students will either reach or approach proficiency in grades K through 12 throughout the continuum. That's an ambitious goal given the impact of the pandemic. But we believe that through more individualized supports, through our teaching teams approach, through continuing to prioritize high-dose tutoring, and continue to focus on consistent attendance with students, that we have a clear path to get there. And so we're really excited to continue to build on the momentum that has been built over the last couple of years and really push towards absolute levels of attainment for all of our students. Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to 4 primary areas, all of which we're really excited to prioritize. One is continuing to strengthen attendance. We know that the power of students being at school every day is that they're benefiting from that level of consistency and from what's going on in all of our classrooms. So that's one key piece, is resources that continue to prioritize strengthening attendance. Similarly, reducing exclusionary discipline is another priority of the grant, and so we're dedicated to ensuring that students have wraparound supports, and we're removing barriers to students thriving in their classes. And then the biggest areas where we're really going all in with the grant funding are around differentiated individualized learning. And so one of the big bets that we're making is around teaching teams, having 2 teachers during core academic blocks in the classroom. We've revised our schedule and revamped our staffing to make sure that that's possible, to really foster the conditions in a classroom where students are getting more individualized support and where we're able to monitor progress more directly, more quickly, and ultimately catch errors at the point of error rather than waiting until at the end of a week or at the end of a quarter to find out that students had a misunderstanding. And then the final area, really in that same spirit of individualized learning, is high-dose tutoring. And so, we have hundreds of students that are poised to gain access to one-on-one or two-on-one tutoring 4 times a week. And we have seen through a pilot the impact of that, and we're really excited to continue to build on that momentum heading into next year.
Yeah, in a similar vein to what Andy had said, what we're making big investments on, we're going to spend our money on. So attendance teams, reducing exclusionary discipline, and just the kind of mental health supports for staff and students. And so again, our attendance protocols, we're able to staff a full-time member at the high school, an associate director of school operations, whose sole focus is high school attendance, because that's where we saw the biggest dip post-pandemic. And so we're really trying to make gains back up there. So we're able to sustain some investments we've already made with those funds. So again, attendance initiatives, reducing exclusionary discipline with the same practices Andy mentioned, as well as just kind of mental health and wraparound supports for our students and families to make sure that KIPP Indy is a place that they feel safe and loved.
Yeah, I would say maybe less about KIPP Indy and more about Martindale Brightwood, which is inclusive of KIPP Indy, which is that it's a special place and our kids are incredible. Our students face real challenges, but this is a neighborhood that has a rich history, has a ton of assets. Our students are brilliant, they're creative, they're resilient, and their potential is limitless. And so really it's a privilege and an opportunity to get to work here, to get to partner with their families and residents and stakeholders that have been here for a long time. But the biggest thing is just to be an advocate and to let folks know how special of a place Martindale Brightwood is and how special our students are.
I think what I would say about that is just the community we've built here. So we have staff members who were former students here. Some students that I taught, their kids go here now. Just family members we've built decades-long relationships with, and just it truly is a community, both from staff, students, families, and community members. And so that's one thing I find really special about KIPP Indy Martindale Brightwood is that community, that longevity, that commitment to this community. And so that's something really special here at KIPP.